Is the screen visible? Is the PPT is in a slide mode? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Slide is in the, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh. So we will start with our data structure and algorithm. So to begin with that, so these are the just a recap. In the initial class, we have been with the C++ and understanding of the basics of that, because we will be using in our implementation of our data structures. Then some notation we have seen, which will estimate me whether how complex, how much time it takes, or complexity or time duration based on that. So we have seen all these notation. And then we started with our array, which is well known. I think in most of your programming, we have used with arrays. Only we have to take care of the index in the case of C++ and all that. You have the index number, which will be start from 0, and the element number. If I see how many elements are there, 4. So 4 minus 1. So 1 less than the your element number. Okay, number of elements in this. That's only. But in case of MATLAB, it start from 1. So only that is some differences. Then in the last class, we have seen a kind of how to do this kind of operation with the arrays: insertion, deletion, or a search operation, or update operation. So we have seen how the algorithm can be implementable for with any languages for this kind of data structure. So to remember data structure for the array here, it is a continuous memory location, and it is indexed by the it is elements. The any element can be pointed by the its index value. Okay, and a starting value is always the array name. Okay, of the your whatever you define. And another important one is it stores only same kind of elements. Okay, so that is the basic concept for the arrays which we have to remember. From there we started, we touched upon the stack. And remember, stack is also similar kind of container, but in case of the array, any element can be changed, modified, deleted, or insert, anything we can do. But in case of a stack, it is not so. Only the last in first out. It is like a, you are putting the all the element one by one, whichever is outside the topmost can be taken out. Okay, so you anyone, we can't access these element. It is in a, like you are trying to, if you want to take this element, you have to take out all these pop out, you have to pop the information. So that is the concept for a stack. So it is well known with the last in first out. Okay, so remember this, last in first out. And with the stack, you have to remember some of these operation. Okay, as in case of array, we have the search, all those information, insertion, deletion. But in case of a stack, these two are the dominant, push and a pop. And peak is giving you the topmost. You're just seeing what is there in the top of that. And these are the like a flagging information to say whether it is full or empty or kind of. Okay, so we saw the difference between this push and a pop. Okay, so in this case, first I have to check whether if I want to add any element, I'll be checking with the full, whether it is full or not, is there any space basically. If the space is there, we are putting the data and changing this pointer, actually the top. So we are changing to the top, the next in place, and we are returning success. But in the case of pop, I want to remove the element, but there is no element, means it will be the error for us. So we are checking for the empty kind of. Okay, so again, when we remove, the top has to be decrement. It will be in the next below that point, it will be removed. That's the only difference in the case of push and pop. So these two will be used in most of our program. Whenever the program is going, say C++ or any kind of programming, whenever we are using a expression passing or a kind of function, you are switching between the functions and a main or something like that. we will be using many time the push and pop, but we are not calling stack as in the case of function kind of. Okay, array, we will be using array as an element, but stack we will never access from the user end. Okay, now under that we started with this is the expression parsing is one of the compatible what you can say, it is mainly the stack is used for this expression parsing. So we have seen a concept on infix, prefix and postfix. Okay, now what do you mean by these terminologies? We'll just have a highlight on that. So this is a table which will compare the difference between infix, prefix and a postfix. So it is simple. The infix is the common notation what we follow in all our representation. All our general representation we go with the infix. Okay, but to implement is as it is the infix with the your programming language, especially for when I wanted to use it for a programming or machine, we want to translate into the machine or where it has to see, which has to be in this case. What is a main issue is it is that this operators are coming in between the operand here. Okay, so the preference is not given in this case. So to provide a preference, which has to be, see here, when the bracket is added, this will be the one first block. If you do remove this bracket, this B and to C will be calculated. But this is by the bracket is this information symbol is not given to the your compiler kind of, there we are. So we are doing another concept called prefix or a postfix. So we have seen a lot of example in the postfix. Now, how to remember, is it a postfix or a prefix? Prefix, as the name suggests, all the operators, you can see it here, it will come before your operand. Okay. In case of postfix, it will come after the operand. So all the alphabet, whatever the variables will be the first, then at the end you will be having, it is not that always it is at the end. Okay, so it is depending on a preferences here, but it will be starting is always with the operand. Okay, so here it is operator, here it is a operand. So by seeing this kind of notation, you should be able to say whether given information is infix, prefix or a postfix. Some MCQs or some of the expression for 1 marks or 2 marks may be asked in this kind of notation, identification or representation. So just practice, it's simple enough. Okay, so that is what you require to understand here. Okay, so with this we will just go with the some more information. Okay, this is the one more information which we have to remember. So under when we want to do a parsing, okay, expression parsing, there are the hierarchy. So this is there is a precedence as well as associativity. Now, what do you mean by precedence? This exponential and your dollar, they will be having highest preferences, and then the multiplication, then the division, and the last it will be having a addition and a subtraction. So one example is taken here with having a same hierarchy here, or it is the same precedence. So in that case, it will be starting from the left and it will take the whichever comes at the first position. So you will be seeing this as a postfix. When I do the postfix here, so you will be seeing A plus B. So A, B plus, then you will be having a operand first, then the minus here. Okay. So that is how you will be calculating or writing your postfix. Okay. So we have done a lot of example in a postfix. Any doubt in the expression parsing till now, whatever we covered? If you have anything, let me know. Do you have any doubt in that, students?
No doubts, ma'am.
Okay. So let us see whether you can answer this. Okay. So if I've given an expression, say for example, this particular expression. Now let me know this. You take it as a B. I'm not given the A, B, C, D here. So this will be the, you can say 1, 2, 3. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Which option will be right in this case? If you understood the concept, let me know. So given is A, division by B plus C, then slash B. Slash is not this one, it's a division, and a D. Now let me know among this 4 options, so take it as 1, 2, 3, 4, which option will be right? Anyone? You have to justify.
Option,
Hello?
option B.
Option 2. Okay. Why? Why not this first one?
And first we'll do it for all the division ones. So it will be AB / plus CD
Oh.
/
Fine.
Then we'll
So this the first, by identifying that this is, we asked for a postfix. So if you see this is the operator is coming first. So this is not the answer for a postfix. So you should see now among these 3 answers. Okay. Now when I see this among these 3 answers, what is happening here? If you have 2 divisions and you have 1 plus. Okay. So plus is always the last part here. Okay, because it is the lower precedence over the your division here. So if you see this now, in that case this will be removed out. So these 2 are the answer for you. Now if you see this answer and this answer, I can't take this. What it means here, A, B, C, D, it means here all of them are now division. This is not the right way of it doesn't give you the any correct way of that. So this is how it is understanding. You will see this when you go for this answer. So you have to check there. Okay, so A, B, these 2 operands will be divided. Okay, that is what it does. Then it will take C, D and it divides. Okay, so this is what has happened, and whatever answer of this and answer of this will be addition. Okay, so that is what you get from this expression also. So that is how you have to go through that. Okay, so if you are trying to answer for MCQ, this is how you have to understand the concept and try to go for that. I hope it is clear. Now let us go for the how exactly the stack is implemented. So now you understood how it is written. Now let us see how the stack is going to be implemented for the postfix. Okay. So this is how the postfix expression evaluation. So what is done here? Evaluation rules for this while reading expression from left to right. We are already done in your postfix. Okay. So push the element in the stack. Okay. If it is an operand. So if you have A, B slash, okay, say A slash B, that is nothing but your A division B. Then first you are push the element in the stack if it is an operand. So you are putting the A into the stack. Okay. Then pop 2 operands from the stack if the element is an operator. So if you see this, what exactly you're trying to do? If you get a, say for example, you got a operator, then take out these 2 elements and perform this operation. That is what it is doing. If you get operator, what to do? Sorry, operand, what to do? If you get operator, what to do? So we are defining that rules. Okay. So this is for operand. This is for the operator. Okay. Now push back the result of evaluation. Repeat till the end of an expression. So you are trying to get the once you calculated partial information, again push back to the result. That is what we are trying to do. So this will be the algorithm for that. Don't be worried if you're not following. I will give an example. I'll show you the example of that. So what we are trying to do here, it is a postfix expression. So I'll go with the example only. So that will be easier for you. So this is the given postfix expression. Okay. So you have given this is the infix. That means it's a normal way of writing. What we do it, operator and operand are coming in between. Okay. Now this is your postfix. So this is, if I take an example with the ABC, instead of ABC, I'll take this values. So I have got these information. Now how the stack is going to work here? That is what we have to check in that. Okay. So what has happened here? First 4, you got a operand. So 4 is pushed into that. Next 5 is pushed. Okay. So you are pushing the 5 here, operand here. Then 6 comes. So you got a 6 here. So it is also pushed here. Then what is done? You are getting a multiplication. So since it is an operator, So take out 2 out of this. 5 and 6 is being multiplied. So whatever the result come, again it is pushed back here. So it is a 5 into 6, that is 30. It is pushed back. Then you get a plus here operator. So these two answers are added. That is how you got a 34 in this. Is it clear for you? Is it fine? Any doubt? This is very important because this is where we are seeing the push and pop or a stack implementation for us. Is it okay? Is it clear for you? Hope? Any answer? Any question? Students, please respond. It will be helpful to know whether you are following or not. Am I audible? Is my voice is clear?
Ma'am, it's clear, ma'am.
Okay. Any doubt in this?
No, ma'am, it's fine.
Okay. Fine. So this is how the stack is come into picture. So we are using this kind of evaluation. So operator, operand how to do, operator how to do, and it has to repeat until the your all the expression completes. Okay. So that is, I think it is clear from this example. Now let us take one more example. So this is directly I went with the expression. Again now postfix. Why postfix? It is the operand is coming first. Okay. So now what has happened by seeing this? 7 will go into the your stack. Then 8 will be into the your, it will be pushed. Then you got a plus here. Because of this, it is being added. Okay. Again, this is the answer is put into the stack. Then 3 comes into, then the 2. So these two are done here. Then you got a operand, operator plus. So the two more, the topmost 2 information will be retrieved and done, perform this operation. So we got 5. Then you have a division. So this is what the division happens. So 15 by 5. So you get an answer as 3 in this case. Okay. So that is directly I've given the postfix expression, and this is how the evaluation happens. Now if you see how many times the stack is retrieved, if I see the number of iteration here, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But it is not so. You have in between here also. Okay, you're taking a pushing and popping so many iterations. Okay, that is how the stack is going to be involved in your data structure or managing the data or expression parsing. Okay, I hope it is clear. This is related to your postfix. Okay, so we'll see more examples with the prefix also. Okay, I hope it is clear with the postfix. So now we will go to the our other expression, which is nothing but an infix, prefix, and a postfix. This is just a recalculation, working for your this one, just to give a memory. So prefix, it will be like this. Okay, so you'll be having a, initially you will be having a operator. Now let us see what is the algorithm to get that. Okay, so don't be worried with such a big one. Okay, I will explain one by one. Okay, so the if you see this, if you understood a postfix, prefix is similar, but what is the important one is reverse the infix expression. Okay, so I don't go with the steps here. Instead, I will give you the examples. Okay, so what is that example we'll take? Remember, whatever given expression you have to reverse, and then we will see what is done here one by one. Okay, now, so infix to prefix, how to do that? Okay, I hope postfix is clear to you. So infix, this is the example. I have taken a bigger example. So with all the criteria, you have exponential, you have a power, and you have a division, multiplication, addition, subtraction, most of the things. Okay, so as the rule says, your algorithm says, first you have to reverse this. So just start from the, instead of starting from left to right, now you are starting from a right. So rewrite the expression. Okay, so reverse that. Okay, when you reverse this here, this is the your bracket. Okay, that is also put in this form. So the second step, second your information is wherever you have this kind of bracket, just replace with the this kind of you are inverted. Okay, so you are just complementing that. You are trying to rewrite like this. So first is given expression reverse, and wherever the bracket comes as the opening bracket will be taken as a closing. Closing will become a opening kind of. Okay, so you are rewriting the expression like this. So that is the algorithm what it is being told here. Okay, so this is the reverse. Second is putting the information like this. Okay. So once you have done this, now let us see how the your prefix, how to go with the prefix here. So this is the list of how it will begin. Okay, so any expression will start with our bracket. Okay, this is into null, though we are not written here. It is start from the starting point here. Stack will be start with this. Okay, initial. It will give the container from where to go for. Okay, so starting is this here. So it will start with H. It is a starting point for this. So postfix, we are writing, remember, you are writing, if you go to the algorithm, I didn't discuss this. Okay, so you are writing basically you are using a postfix only. Though we want to put a prefix. Okay, so first is you are reversing that and changing a bracket. Okay, then you are using basically the postfix information only. At the end you are, see this, and you are reversing whatever expression, so that becomes a prefix. Okay, so don't be confused. If you understood a postfix, this is just at the end you are reversing into the prefix. Okay, so that is ultimately the same concept, but only it is the in the beginning only we are reversing this. We are starting from the if I take this expression, instead of starting from here, we are starting from here. Okay? So that is the how it has to be. Ultimately, we are going with the postfix, write the postfix, at the end reverse back. That is the concept here. Okay, so what is done here? Operand you got. Okay, put that in a expression form. Okay, so you got an operator put into the stack. Okay, this is the rule what we have done for a postfix also. Okay, so then we got a bracket. Bracket has a preference. Okay, there is a association to this. Okay, so we put the association here. Again, operator number of operand is still the H only. When we get a G here, we will be adding to the postfix here. Okay, then you got a the operator whichever you are getting star. Okay, the multiplication. Then we go with the bracket. But when we come to this, okay, see this. This is the operand here, so there is no issues. But the moment the stack is having these two information, okay, in the your postfix, this will be the next operator. When we get a operator which is division and it is having a less precedence over the your whatever the power this one, it is nothing but f power to the e kind of. Okay, so this is having more value or weightage, so these two will be taken out and calculated. That's how what we have to do there. So this will be placed. Okay, the operator is placed in a postfix expression. Okay, then you are getting an operand, you will be placed here. Then you are getting a division. Okay, division is put here. So you got a bracket, that's why you are completing by the division part here. Okay, next you are getting a minus. Okay, this one here, you're starting at this point here, so minus. So minus is there in a now stack, but the moment you get a minus here, the whatever was a star was there here, that means it's a multiplication was there. So comparing your minus and your multiplication, the multiplication is higher precedence, so it will come here. Okay, so this is how we have done exactly same for your postfix. Okay, if I take this itself is a postfix expression, the expression, sorry, infix your expression, given expression. This will be the your postfix value. Okay, this is how you will be getting for a postfix. But to return, to do the reverse of now, to get a your prefix, okay, what you are trying to, whatever answer you got here at the end, it is being reversed. So it is basically we are using a postfix only. Okay, but at the end and the beginning we are reversing the expression. Is it clear? Is it fine? So if you understood a postfix expression, this will be the easier for you. Okay. So if I just to jot down, if I just to summarize any given expression, okay. So a plus b plus c, say for example, then just reverse it. Okay. First only you write from the reverse the expression, and wherever you have the brackets, whatever opening will become a closing, closing becomes a opening. That is the second step for you. Then once you're done, you're performing a postfix information. Whatever answer you get at the end, you're just you're rewriting in a reverse order, because in a first step only we have done a reversing the expression. Okay. So if you see this is how your prefix is going to work here. Now how to read about it may be a bit difficult for you. See, this ultimately what we are trying to do, we are adding this a. Okay, first will be the addition of this will be added with the multiplication, this product, whatever this is in a bracket. Okay, the product of h and this information. Okay, that is what you're trying to represent here. Okay, since it is a prefix, so all the operator is going to come first before the operand. That is what you have to understand. Is it okay? Are you able to follow? Any doubt? Students, please respond. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
Okay. So remember, first step to reverse, and then the bracket, all those things you are going to do the postfix, and again the reverse the information. Okay, fine. So with this, we will be completing the expression parsing. Then we'll go for another important data structure, that is nothing but a queue. Okay. Now, in the case of array, okay, you have a continuous memory location, and you are trying to access the element, any element you can access by its index. Okay. Now, queue is, what is a queue here? It is nothing but a representation where it works on a first in, first out. Okay. In case of a stack, it is last in, what is that? Last in, last out? Am I right? How the stack works? Last in, last out?
Last in, first out.
Yes. So remember, stack is nothing but you are keeping one over the another one. Whichever is topmost will be retrieved the first. Okay. So it is nothing but a last in, first out. Okay. Whichever topmost it is available. Okay. So remember that in the to remember the stack, it is nothing but a LIFO. Okay. So it is last in, first out. But in case of a queue, queue is as we see any queue for the admission, queue for the ticket or something, where first in, first out. Whoever comes first, they will get the ticket. Okay, that's how you can remember. It's very simple. Okay, so you have certain methods. In case of your array, we had certain information, sorry, operations, say for example, search or addition, deletion, insertion, or something like that. But you have some more information here, and the insertion in the queue, we name this as NQ, entering into the queue basically. Deletion, we don't say as a deletion, we say DQ. Okay, delete from the queue. Okay, so it is a insertion. Sorry, any doubt? Okay, insertion is known as NQ, and deletion is known as the DQ. Okay, now what is the another information? The front is whoever is at the front, the first. Okay, and what is there at the end, it will be called as a rail. This is the 4 information which you require to remember. Okay, now let us see that in a more with the information or understanding kind of. So rare here is at the, this is how the rare end, this is indexed. Okay, index of any array, you can implement this by any concept. So this is a rare, so it is pointing at the last element here. This is the first element of that, whichever comes first. Okay, So this will be the front, okay, front, whoever is kind of front. So these are the terminology you require to remember. Front is whoever come first, okay, the first thing kind of. So this will be the last, okay. So whoever is at the end of the queue will be named as a rear of this, okay. This is the index of this. The queue length can be capacity. I call this as a capacity. So queue length, in this case, queue length is capacity can be 7, but in the length of the queue, if you see, it is a 4 element, or index is 3. Is it clear? These are the nomenclature for your queue. So this is a front, this is a rear of that, and this is a capacity, the length of your whole, the whatever the size of the queue is. Not capacity of the queue is this one. Okay, is it fine? Hope it is clear. Now let us see it in the some more representation. So as I told, it's a first value is nothing but if I see it from the first in, this is from the removing or deleting kind of. So in the previous case, we have taken this. So you have to identify which is the first element here, which is the last element here. In this example, I've taken this as a front. So ultimately, you can implement this by either array, a concept, or by the link to this. We'll see that, okay. So the first element is indexed by the whatever array value 0, but in the case array will be the last element. So it is nothing but entering the last. This is very important. Whoever enters now, they will not enter from the front, okay. They will be entering from the rear end because they are the last in. So you are updating at the last value, okay. But whoever want to take out, you want to take out any element, this will be the from the front side, okay. Dequeuing, okay, we call this as dequeue, deleting the element or taking out the element. So when you take down, this will be pushed, this will be, queue will be now moving actually, okay. I hope it is clear. This, if I take, this is the front side of the your queue, okay. This is the first element of the queue, this is the last element of the queue, and any new entry will be done at the end, and whichever is want to take out the first will be from the front. So these are the important information what you have to take down. And if you see the stack and the queue, the difference between them is nothing but a removing, okay. So in case of a stack, you can fill all the data, no issues, okay. But when I want to take out for a stack, whichever is at the end, the last in will be taken out in the case of stack. But in case of your queue, it is not so. Whoever comes first will be taken out, okay. So I hope it is clear. So this is first in, first out, and the stack is last in, first out. Okay, so with this, we'll start with some more information. So this application, you can see it in many of them. Basically, it is used for CPU scheduling or disk scheduling, because you are trying to, whichever the work is come first, they will be followed first, okay. They will be done first. So this will be done in most of our scheduling kind of, or it can be used in a buffers, because the data whichever enters in the buffer, they will be taken out the first kind of. So you can visualize this as a water pipe kind of, okay. What do you mean by pipe? Here it is the data, whatever the representation here, but I just trying to connect with your what do you say, your real world. So if I say the water, whatever is entered into that water, okay, pipe, what we call that as a data structure, it's a container for me. So whatever the first information, whatever the data is entered, it will be taken out the first, okay. So first in, first out. So you can, even we can, whatever we see it in a printer or keystroke or whatever kind of, this is all places where we are using a queue system, okay. First in, first out. Okay, now let us take some more concept. So in the case of array, we have seen insertion, deletion, and we have seen some more searching and all those operations. These two are important for the queue, okay, enqueue and a dequeue. Peak is similar to, you can see it as a stack where we have these three. You can think of similar kind of operation for your stack. So peak is just get the element info. It will not retrieve, it will just say what is the topmost information. Okay, that's all at the end of the queue without removing it. Okay, so this is peak is that. Okay, so E is full is just checking the whether it is capacity is full or not, or empty is when you don't have any element in that. Okay, so these three you can think of from the your stack, and these are similar to your what to say, you can take it from the array. But again we have a important difference. In case of array, I can delete at any position. Do you agree? We have seen algorithm which should be working deletion and insertion at any given point. Okay, any point I can delete and insert, but that is not so with the queue. Okay, so we can enter in one place and we can take out from only one place. That is a big difference between the your what do you say, array. Now if I compare this with the stack, stack is you are not allowed to take out, you can't point out to a particular position also, you can't take out or modify anything. Okay, you are just able to take out only the topmost information, not other than that. Okay, but here I can add and delete, but I can add only at the end, I can take out only at the front, the first in first out kind of. So whoever entered in the first, I can take out that element. Okay, so that is how the difference, you have to understand this when you want to implement any kind of your representation. This queue can be implementable, or data structure can be implementable either using an array or a linked list. Okay, so today's class we will be discussing more on the how I can implement your queue using an array. Okay, because I have not yet taught the linked list. We'll see what are the advantage and disadvantage of implementing a queue with the array concept. Then we'll repeat the same question, same concept with the linked list also. Okay, so this array is, as you already know, it is a continuous memory location, and I can point out to any element by its index. Okay, that is how you have to remember this. Okay, now when this queue, whenever we will see that organize only limited number of element, we'll see this implementation. Okay, array kind of implementation will be easier when you have a less number. We'll see why. And linked list will be useful when you have to remove and add when you have bigger information. Okay, so that a linked list will be more comfortable for this. Okay, we'll see that. Okay, afterwards. Okay, so let us start with a concept here. Okay, so you already know what is a queue. Okay, and I want to implement, my goal is to implement this queue structure using an array. Okay, so I have given this example. So this is a array length. Say for example, I have so many elements. The length of this, if I query the length of the array, how many elements are there? The capacity of this queue. I've declared this as an array. Okay, think of. So this will be the starting point of your array, that is index 0, and you have 7th index. So I have 8 elements. This capacity of the queue is 8. Okay, do you agree? Because in C++ or any other program, we start from 0. So number of element will be 1 more than the index. Okay, so the capacity is 8. Okay, so the length, whatever you say, the length as such, but or I can say element, number of element it can take is 8, but it is starting this at present, it is containing these elements. Okay, so this is the starting point of your queue. So I am pointing with the array value. Okay, array name I can think of. So these elements are being added. So we have already seen how to add a element in a array. Okay, now this array, this queue is not complete. Okay, there is still, I have some space for this. But to see what is the length of my queue, I will be using one more pointer to this, which will point out where the last insertion is happened. Remember, in Q, the insertion, I can take the element or add the element only at the end. Okay, I can add one more element at this position, not at this point, because this is the first person. Okay, they are the first one to remove. Okay, so these are the last elements, so I can add at this position. So the next addition can be done at this position. Okay, so the pointer will be kept to point where it is located, the length of, or where is the your capacity is 8, but it will take one more pointer is kept to name this as a rear. Okay, so this will be named as front. So this rear will be pointing whenever you are adding a element, it is pointing to the index of this. Okay, so that whenever I want to add one more, you are just putting a array value. Okay, array name and this pointer, whatever, where it is, this position index of that. So I'm trying to do 1 plus of that, so it will be added at this position. Okay, that is how I can do that. Okay, that is illustrated in this diagram. Okay, so you want to insert, okay, insert into the queue. It is already the rear is already pointing to the last element here. So I'm incrementing the rear pointer and inserting the element at this position. Okay, but it is not so easy to dequeue. What do you mean by dequeue? Dequeue is taking out the element. Okay, one element is deleted, deletion of queue. Okay, so I want to take out this element, but it is not so easy as the insertion. So what is done here, if I want to delete this 10, okay, this first element, okay, so what I have to do, I have to put this 15 here and 5 here like this. So I'm just putting the each one, I'm just shifting one by one. Okay, so again I'm updating the my pointer values. Now, can you point out what may be the difficulty or complexity involved? Can you point out by this expression? Deletion specifically? Yes? You have to see it as an algorithm complexity, which we have discussed by the sir. Okay, the complexity and so many other parameters. Can anybody point out on this values concept? Yes? Please. What may be the complexity involved, or what is the length, what is the number, if you want to quantify that. So in the case of insertion, it is very direct. Okay, only one iteration, or it is pointing to the particular point and it is inserting the element. It is simple as that. Okay, but when I do a deletion, I'm shifting all these memory values. Okay, so if the length of this one is more, say for example I have 1000. Okay, now I've deleted the first one. Okay, then what you have to do, you have to rearrange or shift one by one all these elements, so that this will be pointing to this. Okay, all the elements has to be shifted. So the complexity increases as the number of element increases. Do you agree? Yes?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Tell me.
Can we also bring it down to O of one time constant
Yeah.
time if we
Yes.
move the pointer instead of keeping it
Yes,
fixed at a
yes.
particular position?
Correct. I am coming to that. Okay, they are the two methods where I can do the queue method using a array. I can implement in a two methods. Okay, this is one method where I'm shifting all the element, but the complexity is increases as the number of element increases. Agree? Yes, no? Correct? Do you agree? So we'll just see the one program on this concept, and then I'll give you one more program where I'm just using a pointer to shift that. Okay, but we'll discuss the its issues also. So first we'll see the how I can implement using my C programming. Basically, I can go with a C or a C++. So in this case, what happened? Time complexity is insertion NQ is going to be 1, but in case of your if the dequeuing will be the n, how many elements are there, that it will be increased. Okay, that is the main problem in the case of this. 1 minute, I will wait. It is not going. Okay, so is this program is visible to you? This is, I'm just showing how I can implement in this. Here it is written, the concept is you can take it from either in a, this one or any kind of information. Just what you are keeping in the information is initially you are setting into the front and rear, both are initialized to 0. Okay, and capacity is the, you are defining what is the capacity of the queue here. Okay, so it is nothing but you are taking the element one by one element. So what is the NQ method is very simple. NQ is nothing but if your capacity, see this, if the capacity, if I just go back to the previous, if it is at the end, last point of that, then you are telling it is a full. Okay. Otherwise, you're creating a data, okay, at that rear, because already the pointer is at the position. That index, you are just inserting the data there. Okay. So that is becomes a your data insertion. So you are incrementing the value by rear, whatever the value you are just incrementing. Now, if I want to do the DQ, okay, so you are just checking, is it at the first? Okay, you want to take out the element, but there is no element at all. So you're just checking that, then you are making it as a empty or not, just checking by this condition. Now, if it is okay, there is some element, you want to take out the first one, okay, then you're running this for loop. What you're trying to do, whatever is the next element is pushed to the 1 minus of that. Okay, so you're taking from, if it is a first position, you're bringing into 0th position. So you're just shifting all the element one by one. Okay, so and again you're decrementing the rear, okay, whatever the values. So this is the display part, or you can use the front. If I want to take out the first element, what is that peep? It is like a your peak kind of operation. I want to see which is the first element in this. Just you're taking the first element of that and taking out there. Okay, so these are the some of the way you can implement. Okay, but the complexity is this for loop. What is that for loop? If the n, this particular, the length of the your queue, whatever is more, okay, then you are running this for loop for a bigger iteration. So iteration time or complexity is going to increase. Okay, to overcome that, we have one more method. I'll discuss that. So those are the some values. So you can initially when I enter this value, okay, so this is, if you see this here, okay, so you're just in taking out whether I want to display, but initially it is empty. Then you are entering all these values, okay, and then you're trying to say display here. So what happened? You already inserted 20, 30, 40 and 50. So you have inserted those values, so it is coming here. But you have, if you see the program, initially you have inserted this into the 4. Okay, so you have fixed that a number of element to be 4. So because of that, see this capacity is 4. So because of that, fourth element you have inserted. Okay, then it is displaying. But when I want to enter one more value, insert one more value, it will say it is full. Okay, because the queue I can't insert one more element, so that is what the reason it is being told it is a full here. Okay, so if I delete these two, okay, if I want to delete after 2 deletion, you can see this 40 and 50 is shifted to the initial values. Okay, so initial points are there. So that is what you can use a front. Front is just giving me the value, but I'm not deleting here. Okay, remember. So I'm just getting the value here. Okay, so these are how we can do it with our array implementation. Okay, so this is the array representation for the Q. Or I can say in a reverse way, Q is represented by the array concept here. But remember, the complexity is going to be, is it visible, this program? I forgot to ask you. Hello, students? Students? Is my Word document is visible to you?
Yes, ma'am, it was visible.
Okay, Word was visible, right? Because nobody asked the question. So fine. Okay, because I don't know, the PowerPoint presentation is, when it goes to another one, I don't know whether it's visible or not.
Only
Okay.
the PPT was visible.
Hello?
The Word doc.
Hello? You are not able to see the Word document?
Nothing is visible, ma'am.
Ah? Nothing is visible. But did you get the Word document? Hello? Now it is okay. But initially you have found that Word document. Are you able to see that Word document with the program? Please answer.
Yes, ma'am. Now it is visible, ma'am.
Oh, that time you didn't see the Word document then. Okay, fine. You'd have told me, na? Because that sharing was in a PPT mode, I think. Only PPT was visible to you, I think. Correct? Okay, I'll just recollect. This was our algorithm to implement. Okay, so when I wanted to implement that by the C program or C plus any kind of programming, is this is visible now? Is the Word document is visible to you? Please answer.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay. Okay. So in this case, that's what I thought it was visible to you. So I explained whole program. Now I'll do it again. Okay. So in the queue, you have kept three information: front, because it's a pointer to me, position where it is pointing. Again, rear is the index. Initially, it is both will be 0, and capacity is kept here, and there is a pointer, the data element. Okay. So what is done here? If you see, NQ is entering the queue. Okay, I want to insert the value. Okay, so you're just checking is the insertion is possible by just checking whether the capacity is there or not. Okay, if it is already full, you're just checking with the capacity here. Okay, so if it is okay, there is a place for this, then at the position of rear, wherever the rear is pointing or index is there, you are entering the data. Okay, very simple. You are incrementing the value of that. Okay, so this is something like your PPT which we have showed already. But the problem here in the DQ, okay, DQ is nothing but the first part. DQ is nothing but deleting the element. That means the first information will be taken out. Okay, so this condition will check whether it is empty. That means I don't have any element in the queue, then I can't take out anything. So this is the error message for that. Else it will be running this for loop. Okay, because I'm shifting the element, whichever was there at the I plus 1 will be moved to the I. So for example, if it is some elements are at the second position, it will be moved to the first position kind of. So you're doing it until all the things are shifted. Okay, but the problem with this kind of value is this for loop. Okay, because if the n, the number of element in the queue is more, then this will take a lot of time. Okay, so if you see the algorithm, if you remember your complexity and all those measurement algorithm analyze, it increases with n. Okay, so that is a problem in this kind of implementation. Okay, so then you are trying to display the content and you're taking the front part of that. That means I'm just not deleting an element, I'm just displaying the first element of that, the front. Okay, so what is done here, if I want to implement this, okay, to call that, initially I have given a capacity, say 4. Okay, so you are deciding that you are creating a any structure kind of for 4, the queue length, okay, the capacity of that is 4, okay. So your initially, what will be the answer for display here? Because it is an initial display, I have not added any element, it should display me as an empty here, okay. So then you are entering these 4 elements, okay. Then when you want to display this, these 4 elements will be displayed. But the moment you try to insert this one more insertion, or you're trying to add one more element in the queue, it will give me the error. Why? Because you have defined the capacity of the array as 4. So it can take at the maximum 4 elements. The 5th element, whenever it is, because the capacity is equal to rare, it is already reached that, so it will give the error, or it will say it is a it is full, the queue is full, okay. So when I remove, this is the remove method, okay. So you should see that the last elements will be shifted in the front, okay. So that is what it happens. Now if you run this program, this will be the answer for that, because this is the initial display, so it will say it is empty. Then you have inserted all these values, okay, and again trying to insert one more, so it will give me this error, okay. It is not error, you are just trying to check that and say print this, then you are trying to display that. But if I delete this 2 element, the initial 2 elements will be removed. So 40 and 50 is put into the first, okay. So 40 will be put in this and 50 will be, because 2 deletion has followed. So this is how you are trying to do. But in the last case, you are not deleting anything, you are just taking out the element, you're just displaying the element, you're not moving anything here, okay. So this is the front part. I hope it is clear, okay. Is it fine? But with this program, as we see, this time complexity of a DQ will increase as the n increases. So that is the example what I have given. If I got 1000 element, then to remove the first, if I DQ the first, DQ at the first attempt, so 999 times I have to shift the element. This is not the efficient way of programming the same concept. Another way of doing this is you're trying to play with the pointers, okay. What is this pointer here? You consider this is the element here, you have already inserted. Now in the deletion, what you have done, you removed this element and you are just bringing each element, shift one by one. Instead of that, the pointer which is pointing at the 0 can be bring into the pointing at the first index. So I am now making use of the pointer instead of moving this elements, okay. So in that way, the implementation will be easier. I'm just changing with the pointer here. So what happens here in this case, to insert also it is at the one iteration, one whatever complex time complexity, and for the deletion also I'm just changing the pointer from this to this, so again it is going to be the same value, okay. So that is the effective information or program I can implement for this. Is it clear? Is it visible? This Word document is visible to you? Please make sure. Yes. Are you seeing the one more Word document? Please confirm.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So in this case, it is a class, so it is a C++ what is being implemented here. So again, you are keeping the same value here. This is not going to be changed. Only we'll see the pointer. You can see it here, okay. These are all the pointers what we are going to use it, okay. So what is done here? It is a queue. Queue is a your name of the your whatever the this one class, okay. It is a class for you. See this. Q is a class for you. So you are trying to keep a pointer to this. What is this Q? Q is, if you see the whatever the variable or whatever the things you are seeing it here. So whatever you are passing it here, Q. See, this is again the, if you remember your what do you say, C++ concept. This is where you are dynamically you're creating new Q. Okay. So you're creating an element there. Okay. And it is considered as a pointer here. So the pointer, whatever you are trying to put here, you are keeping the element. Remember, whenever I create as a pointer, I can't access that as a dot. Okay, that will be the pointer. Okay, so that is how we are trying to use it here. Okay, now what is important is E is full, all these are fine, easier to understand. What I have to give you the concept is NQ. Okay, NQ is similar to the previous one. There is no much change. There is not at all change. The pointer is pointing at the end here. Okay, rare item is inserted at the rare item, and Q size, whatever is there, it is incremented by 1. Okay, so it is same as your NQ method, but DQ is different here. You are missing with the for loop here. Okay, so what is done here, the moment you say DQ, the first element, it is always the first element will be taken out here. So that's the reason front here. Okay, so the item, whatever you can display, use it for displaying and all that, but basically is this. Okay, so you're trying to now, this pointer is now pointing the +1, whichever was at the because first in first out here, so it will be taken out, the first value will be taken out, the next element is pointed and it is assigned as a new front for us. Okay, now size will be just decremented because you have deleted the element here. So if you execute this, it will be running very fast, because obviously when I delete n element, say n time I want to take out the q or element, this will be more faster. You're just working with a pointer, just reassigning the values. Okay, so that is the main difference in a implementation. So you can implement either in the program 1 method or a program 2, but this is the main concept in the program 2. Okay, now can you identify what may be the drawback of program 2? Anybody? Program 1 is clear because it is going to take a lot of time if n is more here. Can you tell me what may be the drawback of this program 2? Yes, please. Student, I want answer. What may be the drawback of program 2?
Ma'am, when we use a linked list, we do not have random access. So we have to, if we have to find a particular element, we have to traverse through the entire thing.
No, in Q you don't have access to all the element. You can't do that. Okay, and array you can, but you can't delete or insert the any in between. Q is first in, first out. Yeah. Is that the question you asked me? Hello, is it fine?
Yes, ma'am, it's fine.
Remember, Q is always first in, first out. You can't take out the nth element here. Okay, but that is true with the array. Array can be given with the insertion deletion at any position, but Q is a one method where you can't go to the nth element and take out the delete that element, something like that. No, it is only the first element can be taken out always. Okay, but I'm asking you what may be the, if I'm just changing the pointer like this. Okay, but what may be the one bigger issue which will encounter by this kind of implementation, which is not there in this? Yes. Students, please, you have to go with, yeah.
Maybe we'll have garbage values left over.
Okay, why you think so like that?
So we shift the front and eventually we'll have a bunch of values like 15, 5, 20, so on. We'll be left with that. And those haven't been deallocated by memory. So I think we'll have a memory issue.
Okay, a kind of right. But what is, it is not a, it is, see what is happening, you're just shifting the array here, the pointer here. Okay, now what happens, there may be the, say for example, I have deleted or I've dequeued the say 19 up to 19, 4 elements. So the front will be pointing at the 4th element. Okay, so think that it is, I've deleted or dequeued so many iterations, 3 times again. Okay, so then the pointer is at the this fourth part, okay, point. Now what is happening if I want to insert? I'll be inserting at the 7th, no issues, okay. So I want to insert one more. Can I do that? Can I able to do it? See, one pointer is at 4, okay, and I can insert one more because at the 7th element at this position, it is a vacant. I can insert. I can theoretically, if you see the length of your queue is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4. You are assigned as 8 element capacity of a queue. So I'm pointing at the 4th element, or I can say this index. So I have how many elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. If you see the capacity of the queue is only 4 now. I've taken a 4 element. Remember, I've taken at the front is at this position. So I just fill the 4 element in the queue. Okay. If I try to insert one more here, it will say full. Why? Because I have not removed this element. I have not displaced this element at all. It is there here. Okay. The memory is occupied. As it told, it is a memory is occupied because I'm not removed this. I'm not shifted or I'm not done anything. But this is not their case with this here. Okay. Though I've shifted here, the moment I have shifted, say up to this 4th element, whatever I have here, so this particular information is also shifted and it will give me the exactly how many empty spaces are there. But this is not true with your pointer here. Okay. So though there is a capacity says 8, the moment I fill only 4 of that here, it will say capacity is that queue is full. Okay. So how I can overcome this kind of problem? Did you get that problem? Which is not there in this case. Okay. So in this case, physically you're removing that element, or you're emptying that, and you're coming to the space is available to you. Here you're not removing the space here. You're just keeping this occupied here, but you're just virtually you're shifting this pointer here. Okay. So because of that, you will get a virtual full kind of. Okay. The capacity is if you see the ideal capacity of the queue is 8. But the moment I put only the sum of the element, it will say it is a full. Okay, this is the problem facing with this kind of program too. Okay, so if you see the time complexity, the NQ will take only one point because it is just giving the index and it will insert there. DQ also will be because you are just changing the pointer value there. And if you say the front, whatever the retrieval, you can get that. Rear is very simple because the pointer is already there at this rear end, it will give me. So the complexity wise, it is reduced, it is faster, but that is a one issue what we will get with the program 2. Okay, so this is the pros, easy to implement, but the cons is your static data structure. Okay, it is a fixed size for us. Okay, so that is the array concept. If the queue has a large number of NQ and DQ operation at some point, that is what I showed you, we may not be able to insert element in the queue, even if the queue is empty. Empty in the sense it is virtually I'm just moving the pointer there. Okay, this can be avoided by a circular queue. Okay, circular, the name itself says a circular, so it is again the queue concept, first in first out only, but the representation or your pointer representation will be different from your linear representation here. We call this linear queue. Okay, so circular, the name itself says this is a circular, so something like this. Okay, so it will be a circular representation. But how I'll put it into your data structure or a concept of your say queue or array implementation for your circular, we will discuss in the next class. Is it okay? Is it clear? Up to now, is it clear for you? Any doubt in this? This concept is known as linear queue because it is in the one horizontal structure. You can see it is you have a rear end or front end, all those concepts. So the pointer is being shifted to represent this. In this case, physically the data elements are moved here. So we call this as a linear queue. Okay, and we will see one more data structure that is nothing but a circular queue. Any doubt till now? Okay, so the optimization can be done for NQ and DQ for one time. That is nothing but either linked list, which we see it up after some classes. Another way of implementation is nothing but a circular array implementation. So I'll stop today's class at this position. If you have any question, let me know. Any questions, students? Yes?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So at that point, then we will see in the next class our, what do you say, circular. We'll start from a circular queue. Okay. So where we will be using our array as a first initial part. Then we will go with our, what do you say, the usual method of linked list. Okay. Again, in a linked list, we will be seeing more on the queue representation, stack representation, and your, what do you say, some more data structures. Okay, linked list is also one more way of representing the memory. So we will see that array. You remember, array is nothing but a continuous locations, and the starting point is by the array name, and it can be any element can be accessed by the index of that, because it is quite different in case of linked list. Okay, so that is the important difference between a linked list. We'll see more on that, but array. Okay, so array is, these are the main concept for a array for us. Okay. So if you have any question, I can take that. Otherwise, we will conclude today's session. Any doubt? Is my face is this is okay? Like, am I fast or slow, or how is the understandability from your side? Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am, it's fine.
Okay, fine. So thank you for the class, whatever you came to this. I hope some of them are missing, okay? Because total strength is 150 for us, okay? So I could see very compared to the 150 less numbers. Please attend the class. It is going to be easier to follow. Okay, thank you then.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.